Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I wanted to come on here and talk about the whole Orlando shooting situation that happened yesterday. It was literally crazy when I first heard about this. I was just literally getting up, it's Sunday, I'm getting up, getting things ready around the house, and I decided to log on to social media, and I get onto Twitter, and literally, Louis Farrakhan is trending, Muhammad Ali, Orlando, LGBT, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I start hearing about the shooting, and I turned on the news, and I was just in utter disbelief. This so-called lone wolf, this so-called lone gunman went into an Orlando nightclub called Pulse. They were celebrating gay pride. As we all know, this is gay pride month, the month of June. And they're saying that this man was homophobic. He did not like gay people. And this man took into the nightclub and he shot over 100 people. 50 plus people have died so far. There's still a lot of people critically injured that may die. They're saying that the death toll may go up. So this whole situation was just devastating. I want you guys to go ahead and watch these news clips, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
It's been 24 hours since the deadliest mass shooting in American history, and this morning, we know a lot more about the gunman, but little about his motive. 50 people dead, another 53 wounded after the authorities say 29-year-old Omar Mateen opened fire inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. FBI agents have descended on Mateen's home about 120 miles away in Fort Pierce, Florida, looking for anything that may explain why he carried out this attack. Sources tell NBC News' Pete Williams that before opening fire, Mateen called 911, pledged allegiance to ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and mentioned the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. According to authorities, gunfire erupted inside the club just after 2 in the morning. A hostage situation unfolded, and by 5 a.m., police decide to go in, driving an armored vehicle through a wall. A gunfight then broke out between police and Mateen. Some of the audio of that exchange you can hear in this clip. During the gunfire, one bullet hit an officer, his Kevlar helmet likely saving his life. Mateen was killed in the exchange, and police say 30 people were rescued from the club. According to the ATF, Mateen bought the 2 guns used in the shooting just within the past week or so. A handgun and an AR-15 style rifle like you see here. Investigators say both firearms were purchased legally. Mateen's father posted a video to Facebook last night saying he is shocked and saddened by what his son has done. And here's what he tells NBC News this morning.
Was your son radicalized in any way that you know of?
No, he was taking care of his family, going to work. He doesn't have even a beard. He didn't miss his work. He was always on time. So I didn't see anything different that the way that he was behaving himself before, and until yesterday it was the same.
So where did he get these crazy ideas?
That's what I said. I wish he was alive. I could ask him that question. One question, why did he do it?
Presumptive Republican presidential nominee said Mr. Obama was far too timid in his response to the shooting, tweeting, quote, "Our leadership is weak and ineffective." Meanwhile, Trump is being criticized for another tweet for which he accepted congratulations over warnings about radical Islam. Trump's campaign is also changing its focus of a scheduled speech tomorrow. They say it'll now focus on national security and not the Clintons as first planned.
We are joined this morning by Donald Trump on the phone. Mr. Trump, thank you for joining us this morning. You tweeted out yesterday, we have to be tough, smart, and vigilant. What exactly are you proposing in the wake of this tragedy?
Well, one thing we have to do, George, is we have to get the people that surround these maniacs to start talking. People know when they're sickos. I mean, for the large part, like in San Bernardino with the bombs all over the apartment, people saw those bombs. Nobody reported them. In this case, we'll find out that many of his neighbors, many of the people that lived next to him knew he was, he had bad intentions. And nobody reports to the FBI or the police, and they just don't do it for whatever reason. And we have to get that. And we have to have a ban on people coming in from Syria, coming in from different parts of the world with this philosophy that is so hateful and so horrible.
But sir, let me interrupt you on that one right there. How would the ban have made a difference here? This man was a United States citizen. He was born in New York. He lived in Florida.
No, that's right. But we have many people coming in whose hate is equal to his and just as bad and even worse, frankly. And we have to stop people from coming in. We have no documentation. We don't know where they come from. They could be ISIS. In fact, some of them have cell phones with ISIS flags on them. We are taking in people, and it's getting worse, and we're taking in them by the thousands. And you look at Hillary Clinton, she wants to increase it by 500%. She wants more to come in as opposed to none coming in or less coming in, and that in itself is a disaster.
And one of the other things that we've learned here in the last 24 hours is that Omar Mateen was interviewed by the FBI on 3 separate times, investigated twice, yet he was able to buy a gun relatively easily. Should something be done about that?
Well, he was licensed also, though, George. And, when you talk about, like, gun control, when Obama mentioned that yesterday, it was so inappropriate because that was not the problem. The problem was we have a maniac, we have a madman. He could have used a bomb. He could have used other things just as easily, and would have been probably even more devastating. So,
all right, so you guys just watched the news clips, and it just, for me, it just became too much. I was tweeting on Twitter and stating a lot of things that I was feeling, and a lot of people were agreeing with it. And eventually I just had to leave the house. I left, met up with one of my friends. I took my son with me, and we just kind of walked and went out to eat and just talked. The way that this world is going is just so disheartening. And like I said on social media, we now live in a world where people are all about self. They don't care for other people. There's no empathy in a lot of people anymore. And we become so desensitized to violence, and especially gun violence, that within 24 hours, it's no longer about the victims. Now we're hearing words about, Islamic terrorist and Islamic radical. And there's going to be a lot of Islamophobia and people going in on the comment section. And then you even have some people, saying homophobic things and saying that that's what these people get. Who cares? They were gay, as if that means anything. As if their life was less worthy than somebody who was straight. At the end of the day, I don't care if you agree with the gay lifestyle or not. These were people who went to a club to enjoy themselves and who ended up not being able to go back home. This could have been anybody, okay? This could have just as well happened in a straight nightclub. You have a lot of just evil people out here. This man, they're saying that he shot the security guard, and once he got up in the club, it was over. And he was literally shooting to kill, and he literally shot every single target. It's just really a shame. I'm not gonna let one man's actions be responsible for a whole religion. That's not okay. Dylan Roof went into that church and he killed all those black Christians. Did his actions reflect on the entire white community? No, it didn't. So Omar Mateen's actions should not reflect on the entire Islamic community. And it's really sad that this entire situation is doing nothing but creating more hate, more propaganda. Donald Trump even took to Twitter and he was saying that basically, he was right about the whole radical Islam thing, and folks started attacking him about that and going back and forth. And now you're hearing a lot of talk about, gun control. So when things like this happen, it makes me question a lot of things. It makes me question a lot of agendas that are, suddenly trying to be pushed. And now it's turning into this whole political thing, and people blaming Obama, and, people siding with Trump or Hillary, when it really should be about these victims, these innocent people who lost their life for doing nothing more than being themselves and going out and having a good time. Situations like this are just really scary, and it makes you not want to go out anywhere. Makes you not want to be out in public, not want to deal with people. And it's really sad because as human beings, we need that human interaction. We're so busy being stuck in this box and being stuck on social media that we don't even know how to deal with each other anymore in the real world. But when things like this happen, it makes you want to be more of an introvert and not want to go out. And it's really, really sad. You know, so this whole situation is just heartbreaking. You know, my heart definitely goes out to all the victims and their families and things like that. But I, for one, am just tired of just all this stuff that comes with this whenever a tragedy happens. Whenever a mass shooting like this happens, you have a lot of phobic people coming out and making extremely nasty comments on the internet. You have the gun control folks coming out. You have the pro-gun people coming out. And after a while, it just ceases to be about the victim. And I'm not cool with that at all. And I'm not cool with these politicians trying to use this particular situation as a way to push their agenda and to make it about a political situation, as opposed to making it about these people who lost their life once again for doing nothing more than wanting to go out and have a good time. You know, I don't know what's going on in Florida. I've been one of the people who've been very vocal about the nonsense that goes on in Florida. You know, I just don't understand it, but it's a lot of things going on down there, and people need to be on high alert, not just in Florida, but wherever. You know, you have to be smart. You have to listen to that inner voice. You know, when you go into a building, make sure that you identify all the exit signs. Because folks out here are crazy, and you want to be able to get out as fast as you can. And if you don't feel like something is a safe environment, you don't want to go, then don't go. No one should be knocked for that. You just have a lot of people out here who are ticking time bombs, who do not value life. And it's just getting really, really scary. And you know, it's like once you leave your house, you got to pray that you make it back to your family, that you make it back to your children. You know, it's just really scary that you can leave the house, you know, to do nothing more than go out, go to a store, go to a meet and greet, you know what I'm saying, just to go do something. And you can mess around and not come home because somebody had a bad day, or because somebody doesn't like your gender, or because somebody doesn't like your race, or because somebody doesn't like the fact that you know that you're a homosexual. You know, so the whole situation is just really, really disheartening. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation that went down with the Orlando shooting. How do you feel about the Orlando shooting situation? And then what do you think about all the propaganda that's now being pushed for gun control and pro-gun rights? And also, how do you feel about people, you know, taking to social media to show how Islamophobic they are, how homophobic they are, and how people just get off on just being rude at times like this instead of just being grateful that they were not one of the ones there. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.